Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo, and I am here to start off a new show that is an old show. It's Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S, or S2, or I don't know. It's the next season of Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. It is great to have Kyoto Animation back in the running and putting out new shows. It is a wonderful thing to see. They are one of my favorite animation studios, as evidenced by the fact that I've gone through almost all of their stuff, which you can go and watch on my channel, which is very fun. I think I would be remiss to not start this episode to start this episode with anything other than a quick moment of silence for the director of the first season of Dragon Maid, Yasuhiro Takemoto, who passed away in the tragedy and, let's be honest, the murder in the arson event at Kyoto Animation Studios in 2019. So I just want to take a moment for that. Okay. So, taking over the reins of Kobayashi-san Chi no Maid Dragon is Tatsuya Ishihara, the director of Nichijou, Haruhi, Hibike, Clannad, and Chunibyo. Pretty prolific director on the KyoAni staff list, and pretty good at most of those shows. Haruhi in particular is one of my all-time favorite shows. Hibike is absolutely gorgeous and lovely. Chunibyo has its flaws, but I still enjoyed it, and Nichijou is a super blast from every direction of insanity. Combining some of those ideas into the Maid Dragon stuff that we've gotten before sounds like a winning combination to me, and I'm excited to see how it plays out and what Ishihara can bring to the table in this new season of Dragon Maid. So, we're going to revisit the world of Kobayashi, Toru, Kana, Quetzalcoatl, Elma, Fafnir, Takia, Saikawa, and Shota, poor Shota, as they examine the world through the lens of humans trying to interact with dragons and trying to be friends. The main core plot of the first season was finding connections and the willingness to choose your family outside of the things that your actual family might want you to do, as well as having a good time and finding friendships across species and other worldly boundaries, which was a really cool plot line. Also, lots of boobs. We might address this later. I don't have the same, do I call it a fetish? I don't have the same propensity for big boob characters that the author of Dragon Maid does, so that might be a weird thing for us going forward, and we're kind of just gonna ignore it because I'm here for the comedy and the cool animation and the gorgeousness. Speaking of gorgeousness, I've heard a lot of people talk about how good this show looks this season, and I'm really excited to see that. Dragon Maid is one of those shows where it could totally function as static character says line, har 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 har. Cut to other static character, slow pan across, slow zoom in. And then, of course, KyoAni adds that KyoAni flavor and makes it fucking awesome looking, with some of the coolest little mini fight scenes that appear in modern animation, and tons of little things that don't need to be animated as much as they are, but they are, and hell yeah, thank God they are, because it makes it so much more interesting. So, I'm excited to see both where the story is going, whether we get any hints for that, and I'm excited to see what KyoAni brings to the table as their sort of triumphant return from the very literal, and sorry for the use of this idiom, but from the ashes of their previous studio and what happened there, showing the world that they can bounce back, something that is honestly a part of a lot of the stories that they tell, and I'm excited by that. I'm excited to see what a group of people who are battered down by fate and injustice bring to the table when they want to make something fun and light and beautiful and brilliant and happy to share joy with the world. And it's kind of an amazing and magical thing that people who have experienced injustice can come back with a vengeance like that. So, I'm excited to watch Dragon Maid. Let's watch some Dragon Maid. I have downloaded the Dame Des Yo version of Dragon Maid S1. If that's the wrong version or you hate it, tell me. I might change it. I've had good experiences with DDY's subs before, and I read some reviews of these subs and the Subs Please subs, which are kind of the only ones that I was able to find, and these ones look kind of better. So I went with these. If I made a huge mistake and you hate me for it, maybe just deal with it, and if you have good reasons for me to not deal with it and to switch it up, tell me, and maybe I'll switch it up. I'm willing to listen, and I do read all the comments, so please don't spoil things as they're going to come up in the future of the episodes, because I want to see them happen and experience them live. That's the whole point, right? Okay. I've got episode 1 of Kobayashi's Dragon Maid up and ready to go. It's sitting at 0 seconds. There will be two, and hold up 3 fingers, and as I said, 2. There will be 2 versions of this reaction video. You can find a picture-in-picture version with the video up there in the corner, linked in the description for your easy viewing pleasure. You can also find the timer-based version, which you are currently watching, because it's going to have the discussion at the beginning and the discussion at the end. And you'll notice that the video length is maybe a little bit longer than the episode length, and that's because I'm going to talk about it at the end, and talk about things that I find interesting about the episode and maybe things that I hate about the episode, but I don't know. I kind of doubt that there will be a lot of those. So I'm going to talk about things that are interesting and go through anything that I find intriguing about the production or the animation or whatever that I happen to pick up on as we move through. Cool. If you want next week's episode or episodes, we might watch these 2 at a time. I don't really know. They'll be up a little bit early on the Patreon. So the day that this one goes up live on YouTube, those will go up live on the Patreon, and you can check them out a little bit early, as well as getting cool other goodies like access to the Discord where you can chat about things and yell at other people because you like the shows that they don't like and they don't like the shows that you like, and, you know, classic anime discourse. As well as getting access to vote in polls. For those people who were disappointed that Dragon Maid won the poll, that's on you, kinda. Throw me $1, get on the Patreon, vote. Make your votes count. If you want to see something else and you want it on my radar, throw it in the comments, throw it on the Discord, throw it somewhere so that I can see it and read it and have it be on my radar, and throw it into the next poll. Regardless, we're going to watch Dragon Maid because it won the poll, and I think it's good that it won the poll. I'm totally fine with that. There were a lot of things that could have won the poll on the poll, and this one won the poll, so deal with it. We're going to watch this show, and I think it's going to be a good time for pretty much everyone. And if it's not a good time for you, see ya. See you next season when we watch something that maybe you like more. Cool? Cool. Let's watch episode 1 of Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S. I've got it up and ready to go. It's 0 seconds, 2 versions, blah, 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 blah. Beep, beep timer to count you down. We'll be going boop, 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 beep, and red, yellow, yellow, green. On the green light and the beep is the 0 second point, and that's when you should probably hit the button to play your own thing if you're playing your own thing along with my thing. Let's go. Beep, beep timer. Hello? Yes. The best maids. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Impossible. Already there have been like 3 gifable things. Yeah. Actually a dragon. Nice. Great. Please don't. Is that a Moe Moe? No, it wasn't a Moe Moe-kun. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Flip. But also, zooms. Honey. Because I am the best maid. Right. Cool. Oh, we get the OB. Oh, wow. So they're going on the same choo-choo yo and choo-choo yeah energy. Papa da papa. How much budget for boobs bouncing? So much. This is groovy as hell, though. I gotta admit it. Okay, that's a lot. There is so much going on that I'm not able to track. Oh, it's all the Durgans. Fafnir and Elma and... Whoa. Oh, that was a cool transition. Okay. Bad character with a cute thing. Cool. Done. Relationship. Important. Hold on till the end. Light flares. Enemy becomes friend. Cool. Sweet. The demon's den. Oh my god, angles. Yeah. What? Just instantly. That was a cool little smear. Right. Wait, no. Ah. 100% exactly what she is. Sorry if you hear a baby crying in the background, because there is one. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's not going to be as easy as you think. Yep. Truly. To learn. Yes. Understand. Yeah, you should be. His service is fucking hard. Hello, Kana. Oh, indeed. No, there's only one Toru. Yeah, what's gonna go fucking crazy? Has she already been fired? Yeah, omurice. Oh, a service include. Oh. Oh, Moe Moe Kyun, eh? Hmm. Oh, yeah. Sure, sure, sure. Oh. Yeah, where is Toru? Oh, wow, that looks amazing. Hey, she's doing well. I'm sorry. Did we need that? Yes. Gifable. How is she fucking head chef? Yeah. I thought you'd be fired by now. Wow, full the scream. Yeah, you're just a head chef. It seems like you're doing well in the head chef position. Aren't you? What? Papa. I see. You did it wrong. So why didn't she call you Matt? Okay. No. All these little motions in between. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Flip. Stop it. That's not cute. Stop it. You're casting a legitimate spell. No, stop it. Kobayashi. Toru. Kobayashi doesn't want this. No. Not again. I am the head chef. Oh yeah, she's great. Just not with you. Oh, okay. You shouldn't. We need you to keep cooking. Mmm, 5 stars. They can't magic. Are they actually, oh no, did she actually teach them fucking magic? Uh-oh. Oh, hi, guys. It's still working. It seems to still be working. Nobody goes for the food. Never knew it could taste this good. Oh, oop, up. Oh, fun. Oh, cool looking. Like paper bits. That looks delicious. Is that like an egg in a hole? Oh, that looks super delicious. And oh, that's a fucking Durgan. Oh. Durgans. Oh, okay, so we're checking everybody. Oh, okay. It was you! It wasn't me! Oh. Hello, newcomer. Fight time! Incoming! Oh, Jesus. Okay. Yeah. Okay, fight time. Not anymore. Uh-oh. Who's that voice actress? That's a lot. God fucking damn it. So sick. What the hell? Yeah. Got it. Sure. Full yandere. Yeah, you also did the exact same thing. Oh no. Oh, that's rad. Cool CG background. Of course. Yeah. We've been through all this shit together. Oh, that's so sick. But I want to. But I yeah, I'm chaos. Ha ha ha. Sweet. Why are her titties glow? Okay. No! It's much harder to protect things other than yourself. I cast Meteor Swarm. Toru! Yeah. That's bad. Yeah, but Harmony here, right? Okay. No one's stepping in. Oh, cool little rack zoom. Very subtle, but very nice. Kind of could help. But, yeah. Yeah. What can you do, Kobayashi? I love that line. Totally undercuts the whole power of friendship and belief thing. No. Got her. Oh, wow, that looks so good. This is bad. And that's the point, of course. Acid flames. Ugh. I've been holding back. Aha. Let's go, Toru. What do? Uh-oh. No bluffing. Ah. You can go hard. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. That's all. Go hard, Toru. Do it up. Yeah, it's the same plot. Except just... Nope. Oh, great. This new effect that they're doing on all these fire things is insane. That's insane, too. What the fuck? Whoosh. Nearly. Mmm. Mmm. Hand on shoulder. No? Ah, hand on head. Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Pets, 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 pets. Aww. Wow, that's like only a little bit past halfway through the episode. That whole fight sequence felt like way more. Wow, that background. Did you see that? What the fuck? How did that look so good? Like, it's still in a simplified art style, but like, that background looked really good. Oh, man, we're back. Clunk. How dare that lowly human? She's like one of those little snake things that's a bunch of little blocks of wood tied together. Huh. Huh. Enemy will become friend. Yes, okay. Cool, 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 cool. Huh. What the fuck? Hmm. Still pretty messed up, huh? Mm-hmm. She's dope as hell, dude. Hello. That's me. She's cool. Eh. How dare you say such a thing about a giant, enormous beast of power? I mean, yeah. No. It's not just the human form thing. I mean, kind of, though. Mm-hmm. Hmm. No. Yeah, what the fuck? Like, actually, what the fuck, though? Please. No. I'm not male. Well handled. God, that's gotta cause back problem. Like, serious, like, shoulder strain constantly. I want to understand. Why not? Who is that voice actress, though? Ah. But is that necessarily the case? Nah, this shit real. Oh, she's fully out. Amazing. Huh? Nah, you were fully out. Some bullshit. We already fucking dealt with that. No, you need a reality check. It's working. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Nice. Nice. Okay, that's the way it is regardless. You choose your tragedy. You choose what's worth suffering for. Yeah. If it's worth it because you choose it. Hell yeah. Most people don't. Hell yeah. Some are awful. Bingo. Well done. Crispy. Yeah, how dare you group us all together? Really, is it? Betsu no Drago. Yeah, I don't want to believe it. Nope, she's going out. Just wake up, spit some philosophy, go to sleep. Wait, what? Oh, okay, so you had a thing before and now it's not a thing. What are you doing? Oh, you're teleporting. Okay. Bye. Almost. Oh well. Oh shit! Did she make Kobayashi a boy? Oh, well, I mean, not really. It just gave her parts. Got it. Very interesting. That's weird. For a second, I was like, she stole her panties? What the fuck? Nope. Is that your account has been suspended? I couldn't read it at all. Oh boy. Oh yeah? And we get the ED. Oh. We're bringing back the parapa. Fuck, that's pretty. Ooh, cool locations. For each of them? Yeah. Ooh. Ah, good pun. Glorious. Oh. Oh, we're using the same trail. Oh, sure it is. Fucking sure. Wait, what? I fully don't understand that. Degenerate of the week, zodiac sign 0, super awesome, lucky advice state. Okay, it's just okay, weird. So she's the degenerate of the week. I would watch a Kana magical girl. Yeah, I'd watch that. That'd be fun. That was a lot, and also not a lot. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So Kobayashi has been turned into, well, again, it's not that she's been turned into a boy. It's not like the parts make that change happen. But there's been some swappering garoony. There's a piece of this ED that I just need to find really quick because I'm gonna grab it because it's gonna be part of my thumbnail. So give me a sec because I gotta grab that, and then we'll talk about the episode. Oh yeah, there it is. Sweet. I just wanted that because like it is rare that a show gives you a straight up pretty pattern that's like, oh, I could just cut that into pieces and use it as my thumbnails. But I'm very happy that there is one. So wonderful. All right. Let's start with OPED because it's a fun thing that we're going to be seeing every time and we want to talk about it now. There's too much going on in the OP for me to actually track any of it. All of it's gorgeous. I love the thick lines on everything. I think it's amazing looking. I love the crazy patterns, and we'll see a lot more of that as we move through the episode. Clearly, they're leveraging some more digital technology to make some of this stuff work in a fantastic way, and I think it looks gorgeous. Animation of characters moving in and out of space has always been like KyoAni's one of their fortes, besides like lighting and theme and making stuff blend and like blending backgrounds and character designs and putting everything in one space and making things move in interesting. Like County's got a lot of fortes, but we see a lot of that stuff in this OP with characters moving around through space in really interesting ways, and I think it's awesome. There's also an immense amount of animation on boobs bouncing, and that's fine, but it's only just fine, and I don't really care about it. So yeah, we also kind of have to talk about. We don't have to talk about it. Half her body mass is titties. It's weird. But whatever, it's what the author is into, and I mentioned it before, and so we're just gonna sort of ignore it. It's fine. I'm more interested in how this character is going to like. I was gonna say develop, but then that has a double. I'm more interested in how this character's character is going to develop as we move through the episodes, because that seems interesting to me. Immediately off the bat, we get really fluid, really fun character animation all over the place, just literally everywhere, and it's wonderful looking. And then we get scenes where like Kobayashi takes off, does a spin mid taking off, wee, 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 and then zooms out of here. And I don't even understand how it was the way that it is. Like I stopped at this scene because I needed to stop at the scene to understand this scene. How did this look this way? Is that a full jump? There, with flails. One, and okay. Ones, stop. Twos. As she slows down. Cool. These lines on the outside are really unique. Because they're not directional speed lines, right? They're just like frames for the character, but they create extra energy or like wind going around her. Like at one point they're like her arms moving, and then at this point they're the swirls and they are directional, but then they become like a pow around her. Pa pa. That's really unique. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that. Obviously, on the spinning part, we've seen that a billion times, and then this is on ones. Clearly, right? Like, that makes sense. And then the door slam is on ones, and the hair responds to it as well. Bruh. Bruh. What the fuck? Okay, again, put it all together. Zoom, like flail zoom, hit a pose, zoom, spin, 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 pop. But it's double pop. It's pop into the diagonals and then pop into the upward. Flail, spin, 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 pop, zoom, flip. And it like each time that there's something crazy like that, we just flip out of it or cut out of it so that you don't even have time to process it. Bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. So I think when people say that Dragon Maid has really cool animation, a lot of the time they focus on the fight scene stuff, and we'll get there. We gon' get there. And they're not wrong. Like, obviously, the fight scene animation is fantastic and really interesting. But the stuff that really gets me in the head, that makes me go, what? Is this stuff. Is the little character animations that are made overblown in the most interesting way. And we're going to see it a little bit later when we have, like, I think it's probably a more obvious scene as well, because there's all this like fire effect going on and these really cool like spiraling flames that are their own layer that's like transposed on the thing. I don't even understand how they did it, and I don't understand how they did some of the other fire effects as well. But like these scenes of character animation are the most, they're just the most, they're so extra for what needs to be done. And there's like again, there's unique stuff going on, like those lines that frame her as she pops are, I ain't never seen that before. That's new shit, dude. Beyond that, the characters look the same as first season for the most part. It's hard to say that like there's more attention to detail in shadow or like lighting or highlights or things like that, because the first season was really crispy in those regards as well. But the way the characters move is just more. It's just more. All right, so again, immense amount of budget for OP boob bouncing. That's fine. But also for characters moving around in the OP in wonderful ways, and character animation being over the top. So many gifable things in just the first like few minutes, and then in the OP, and then as we move along, it's just continuous. And I know that gifable isn't really like a criticism or a what's the opposite of a criticism? A praise for the thing, but it is kind of a point and something important, at least for modern media, to create things that have an impact immediately and like read as something. And that's sort of like the point of creating cool character animation as well, is to have little moments that read clearly as some expression or some motivation. It's just that they're chopped up and isolated in a way that they are particularly gifable. And I think that's an intentional thing for the piece of media, because it helps the piece of media spread. And I think that's totally valid and totally fun. These zooming scenes as we zoom through the sky and we transition through the eye into scales, I think is a gorgeous move here. And we get our first taste of this unique fire, and I don't know how it's being done. I don't know if it's fucking, I guess that's our first tiny little taste of it, and then it's just gone. And we do get this little hint about this character, very Sympho Gear. Has some definite like vibes of a particular character who has like fire in her history. Not gonna say anything more than that because I don't want to spoil the Sympho Gear stuff for you. But she's reaching towards something, and then we discover this bond between the two of them, and we talk in the lyrics about holding on while things are getting bad, and it's like, okay, cool, we get what the plot is. It's kind of the same plot as before, and that's okay. It's just from a different perspective with a different guy or bad girl type thing. Is this on fucking ones? Fuck you. Absolutely fuck you. Look at that. That's a... Fuck you. It's also great. I love her calling it a demon's den. I love the other maids. They're cute. And I love how she just runs in, and immediately we get this little, like, flare. Where's her thumbs up? Yeah. Fa-pa. Fa-pa. Oh! see. We're leaving after images. That's different. That's new. Like, it's clear that there's something weird going on here, but I thought it was a classic smear, and instead it's an after image. Interesting. I see you, KyoAni. I see you. And all the minutes. Are those on ones? Omedeto! Omedeto! Congratulations. And super creative transitions all the way through, right? Like these little zooms and these little pans, these little wipes and all these things. Too many to count. Also love this gray out background. It's very fun, all very scratchy. And we go and we visit the Maid Cafe, and they say some things, they do some things, blah, blah, blah. And we turn our attention to the fire. Holy shit, this fire looks awesome. The motion is dope. The hair motion is cool. The eyes fucking flaring out is amazing. And these cool spiraling flames are really cool. I like them a lot. And then a little bit later, we get the whole, the whole throw of things onto plates, making magic omurice, and a super gifable little pop moment with a little bounce. What? I didn't even realize that it started out here. Pop. So cool. That's super neat. There are too many little moments for us to look through. We're going to be here for an hour and a half. That's fine. I'm down. I'm down if you are. And then there are these, like, cool little effects. Like, these are different from classic bubble effects. This, like, stippled, pop arty style. It looks like, also like manga where you're using, like, gradient, film, and you're cutting out elements of gradient film, which is really interesting, by the way, that they do that. It's, like, so neat to create gradients and stuff. It's super cool. All right, zooming around, and then we get this Scream reference with them in the background. I think this is super fun. It's just silly and wonderful, and then tons and tons of character animation. Just so much. There's another one immediately after this, right? Yeah, that. Pop, pop. Are there little effects on that one? I can't tell. So there's a trail with her hand. No effects, just pop, pop. But there is, like, this... That's actually cool. That we hit it twice. It's important for it to, like, register. Pop, and then we go up, and then we hit the same pose again. So it's like a pop, pop, and then a loss of strength in it. Like, the first one is strong, and then the second one is like droopy. And then we go into the little bounce. That's so neat. Okay, this is very cute. Little spells. Great. Cast a spell, and it's darkness. It's super gorgeous. It's a great effect. We get all these cool things, the triple takes, the zooms, the, like, over the top anime spell casting bullshit. It's really good. It's lovely. And of course Kana loves it, and they both eat it, and it's wonderful. Please don't leave, and everybody's all excited to keep her here, and then she's doing the thing, and she wants to be more of a maid than a dragon. And then there's a bad thing, and we talk about the bad thing, we punch. Boom. Love these angles. Boom. It's a great choice. It makes it so much more dynamic than just having, like, having it any other way. It's wonderful. And a new dragon approaches. Feels like we've seen this storyline before. That's totally okay. It works. It's different because it's a joiner dragon instead of a bad dragon. Wait, I didn't say that. Fighting effects. Look, just for our continuous DBZ smack, 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 this shit looks great. It looks lovely for what it is. It's the bigger stuff that's more fun, though, obviously, and this shit. So, this is a full CG background, I think. Because this building up in the front is. I'm trying to determine whether the angles on each of these buildings, because they're fuzzed out so that they look like they're drawn, and the line art on them is made to be, like, variable width so that they look like they're drawn, but I don't think they're drawn. I think they're all modeled. And I think that what we're looking at, because there are two ways to create this scene. One way is you put an inordinate number of parallaxed layers in front of each other, and you move them all slightly together, right? The other is that you actually model this area with, like, outlines of buildings and colors for buildings, and then you actually shift it in 3D space. And it could be a blend of the two, but I think that the actual angles of the polyhedrons that are these buildings, these like cubes and rectangles and things that are these buildings, I think the angles on them are actually shifting slightly. And they certainly are here on this thing in the foreground, which is kind of why like I have to put it out of my mind and see. But I think the angles on like this building, this skyscraper over here, and like this one as well are all shifting slightly, which makes it read as real or like close to real, or at least a CG or digital background, right? Regardless, it's an amazing looking scene. And the fact that I can't really, yeah, it can't be parallax layers because every single thing is moving. It's all shifting, it's all moving, so it's all CG. But it's all CG with like a line art filter on it that makes it look fully 2D, and it's fantastic. I think it looks really good. And it's great for creating this sense of like a scale battle happening in this scene, very DBZ style. Just to shout out the show where two characters fight each other in the air a bunch and throw stuff that's too fast for us to see. It's lovely. It's really cool. Okay, I'm sure Toru will sort it out. I believe in Toru. And then we get this line, and I don't know exactly where it is, so I might not be able to stop on it. But this line that she says, which is, if I can't help her, if my belief in her doesn't assist her, then it's the same thing as doing nothing. And that's really interesting because there is a huge power dynamic between these two characters in terms of what they're capable of doing in protecting this world. And we'll see maybe that might be flipped on its head as it's actually Kobayashi's like nature and state of being, which has in the past and may in the future be the thing that convinces this dragon to stop attacking them and doing the murders. But there is this stark power dynamic between these two characters. Toru is capable of physically defending this world, and Kobayashi is not. We'll see if that changes. Although she is capable of like convincing other dragons to do things, and we see that as she convinces Elma with the use of sweets to at least put down a barrier that lets Toru go a little bit further and actually fight a little bit, which is pretty rad. Okay, good. I was hoping for a fight, and fire, fire, fire. I don't know why her titties burn. It's just a thing that happens, and we're worried about the town. Okay, cool. So a classic moment and a thing to use if you are a dungeon master is it's one thing to fight when you're just fighting for yourself, and it's another thing to fight when you're protecting somebody weaker than you. In this case, a bunch of humans who cannot defend themselves against meteor swarm. Well, time to whip out your counterspells and hope that you make that check, because you need to counterspell that meteor swarm or everybody you know dies. Or at least everybody in 4 40-foot radius circles takes 20d6 bludgeoning and 20d6 fire damage. It's close enough to everybody you know dies. And we get to see our taste of cool fire effects. The edges of them have all these little sparkles to them and little bits that I can't tell if they are drawn or like digitally generated. They could be either. They're kind of like confetti effects, and I don't know. Regardless, the insides of them are clearly like intentional and clearly drawn out using a cool brush and then like blended together and like warped, like smearing paint across a cell, but of course it's digital. They're rad looking fire. And this isn't even the coolest stuff that we're going to see fire-wise. Anyway, big wings, big boom, pow. And yeah, look at that. And there's also this like background effect on all of it that makes it all wavy and spirally, like it's like liquid and has been moved around. It's really unique looking fire stuff, and I think it's really cool. Also, tons of particle effects all over the place. Must have been a bitch to render a ton of this stuff out. And zoom, I'm right in front of you. And we get this slice, which of course slices her chest piece, and that's the thing. Again, that's all a thing. Oh, yeah, rack zoom. Super powerful in this little moment. So, yeah, that's exactly what this is. As we zoom in on a character and out on the background, or like it's vice versa. No, it's a full rack zoom. So to do this, you have to use like a certain type of lens, and you have to put a thing on a rack, and you have to move it forward. But of course, we're in animation world, so we can do that all that shit really easily. And I think that the actual nature of this shot, where the background is like shrinking behind her, but she's growing closer to us in the camera, or at least staying static, I think it's physically impossible to perform this particular zoom with a camera, which makes it very unsettling to us, I think. Now I might be wrong, and this might be possible if you're like zooming in slowly on the camera at the exact rate that you're like bringing it closer to the character, or alternatively zooming out on the camera lens while bringing it further from the character. Using something digital that like uses a tool that does that exactly and matches it all up. It might be possible to create this particular effect where the background is shrinking behind her and she stays in frame. I'm not actually sure if she's staying in frame or is like, I think she's staying perfectly in frame. Regardless, it might be possible, it might not. I'm not entirely sure, but it is very unsettling, and rack zooms themselves are always unsettling. They're always weird because they're not the way that we perceive motion forward or backward. And so there's something wrong about it. And they're used to great effect in lots of horror films and for suspense shots and stuff like that. And that's exactly what this is a suspense shot as Toru realizes that she has no out here. There's nobody who's going to help Toru. I'm sorry, as Kobayashi realized that she has no out here. There's nobody that's going to help Toru, and there's nobody that can. And that's scary. This is a world-altering moment. It sucks. And of course, she comes up with a way regardless, which is super awesome. Flail, 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 flail. It's wonderful. And oh yeah, there's that moment. I believe in her. I said that I believe in her, but if that's doesn't help Toru, it's the same as doing nothing. But it's all that I can do. So it's not all that you can do. You can convince others using sweets and using your knowledge of other characters and what they're about. So here's some of that like confetti stuff that's really interesting. And it's a combination of like layers of particle effects, layers of the previous fire that we've seen that looks like it's by hand, but also crazy brushes. And then layers of like a digitized confetti on the edges. It's really unique looking, and it's got its own completely novel vibe. And then this shit, like this explosion, could be a hand-drawn impact frame, or it could be digital confetti. I don't know, man. I think this is hand-drawn, for sure. That is. I think it all is. But then there's the confetti. Like, these bits. Yellow blobs, blue blobs, orange fire sparks. I don't know. It could be either. It's gorgeous regardless. And it's super unique looking regardless. Big slash down the back. It sucks. Ouch. Wait, what? Just an ouch? Really? Can I get some more than just an ouch? And then you're not fighting alone. Big boom of fire. Boom. I love the pure darkness flame. Oh, did I slow it down? I did. I'm cool with that. Hey, let's watch this for a second really slow. Look at that. See, like this blooming, shifting. It's a combination of hand-done color and like added effects. Faux show. Oh my god, that one frame of Blast of Black. That. Ka-pow, gone. But it reads. It reads in moment. Let's go back up to speed. You fully see that in moment. Ba-boom. It burns into your eyes the way that like looking at something bright or looking at something dark does, just because of the sharpness of the black on white. You don't get that a lot with individual impact frames. Like usually when you see those impact frames, they read subconsciously, but they don't burn into your eyes that way. It's really fantastic that it gets to go so dark, so light, and then into the bright blue, and you like see the after image of it for a couple of frames, or at least I do. Like it's such a pivotal moment that we see that black ball in front of Kobayashi. I keep mixing them up. In front of Toru as she blasts this blue fire forward. And then tons of blue sparks, massive impact frames, cool washout as light overwhelming, and then drop you into a black portal of blackness. Bye-bye. I love this sketchiness around the black portal. It's like reality is actually ripping around it. And I'm going to utilize some of the idea here as something that I'm going to have to describe in my D&D campaign, which is portals from somewhere else being opened in our reality. It's fucking rad looking, and bye-bye and rip. And this big puff of steam that comes off of her like dragon wings itself as she releases a bunch of energy and gets out of the bad situation. We have ourselves a beautiful chat as she's apologizing, and there's this lovely glow behind her of the sunset, like golden hour hue. But it's the way that this glow like infests, or infests is a gross word, but it touches everything and like makes all the gradients in the character shine. And it's also gradiented out in like what would be flat in any other show, which is the stuff that's in shadow is still affected by the light of the bloom of the light on the gradient, which is accurate and it's real and it feels real and it's really cool. Anyway, as long as it's for her, I can overcome any obstacle. And we start to see the heel face turn over there, and we get some weird bloop, bloop, blop, bloop, bleep, blop, bloop. Great. Cool. Hello. Yes, let me seduce you with my titties. No, please no. And also, I'm not a boy. Thwack. And so we get this conversation. And this conversation is legit. Dragons and humans can't coexist. It's impossible. Well, if you believe it is, it's impossible. Our differences will cause suffering. Well, yeah, if you believe they will, then they will. If you only focus on those differences, you will. And clearly, this character has been through something that reinforces her worldview. I love Kobayashi just fully falling asleep in the middle of her speech. It's just so dismissive and such a smack in the face without actually being confrontational or a smack in the face. It is like not nice though, but it's great. So then we answer back with the things that we learned over the course of the first season of the first episode. I would also like to note the CG hand ring things because they move slightly all in like kind of unison, and they're clearly CG and it works quite well. Respect, we learn about each other, we trust each other, and that works great. And she's like, no, it's impossible. You're just choosing to talk about the good things. And it's like, yeah, man, you ever been in a relationship? Clearly not. Like, well, here's the other thing. Even if you have been in a relationship, if you've been in a relationship and you've gotten burned badly, if it's fallen apart and you've just internalized the idea that relationships fall apart and that people hurt each other, this is precisely the outlook you're going to have on relationships. And we've talked about this before, but there are clear underpinnings of Kobayashi's Dragon Maid about same-sex relationships and homosexuality and the way that other people might view that. Both in the Kobayashi Toru relationship and in the Fafnir, I think it's Takia, Makoto, like, bro relationship. There is this element of like, well, clearly Kobayashi and Toru are both female, right? And a big element of the last season with the whole father and the whole family being like, no, you must fight humans, also kind of fits a whole, like, you can't live with a girl. That's not allowed. That's wrong, sort of thing. But regardless of the type of relationship, it's super possible to be burned, and it's super possible to get hurt. And it seems to me like this character, Irudu, has gotten hurt and now generalizes from that all relationships end in pain. And I think that's a very real world thing to feel. And it can be very hard to trust again if you've been burned by somebody. And I think that's legit. But, and there's another element here, which is even in a good relationship, there is inherent suffering to being near someone. We are all different, and in the spaces between us as we try to fit our weird puzzle pieces of humanity, and I don't just mean physical puzzle pieces, right? To fit our weird puzzle pieces of personality together and form something that is greater than the individual, there is conflict there because there is difference there. And it's not possible to have a relationship without that conflict. The question for every individual and for every couple and for every friendship is whether it's worth it, because there are two great forms of suffering in this world, and one of them is suffering alone, and one of them is suffering with other people, and you get to choose. But I'll tell you right now that suffering alone has nothing to benefit it. It's just the pure suffering on its own. When you suffer with other people, at least there is the benefit of the good moments and the good times and the friendship and the companionship that we as human beings crave and need. And I suppose as dragons need as well, seeing as how many of them have started forming potent relationships in their world. And I don't necessarily mean sexual or romantic relationships. Friendships work the same way. Relationships with family work the same way. We all have families, right? And to some extent, we've all had conflict with our families. And for some people, it's worth it. And for some people, it's not. And that's okay. It's okay for it to not be worth it in some circumstances. But to discount the idea of being around other people as a social animal, which we all are, to discount it completely because there is pain inherent in it, misses the forest for the trees. It misses the point because, in a very Buddhist sense, suffering is inevitable, eternal, and life is nothing but it. So, find something worth suffering for and choose it. Or find someone worth suffering for and choose it. Tie yourself to some other human being and say, we're fucking in this together, baby. We're going down together and we're going to hurt. We just have to make it worth it. And what's amazing, what's magical is that the act of choosing it, the act of choosing your own suffering, and this works for relationships, but it also works for everything else. It works for work. It works for taking on responsibility. It works for taking care of other people. When you choose it yourself, when it is not simply imposed upon you, it is suddenly worth it. Your brain changes. The way you think about a thing changes when you choose it. And it's truly magical. It's truly wonderful. And I highly recommend it because I think, to some extent, it is the meaning of life itself. To choose the thing that makes life worthwhile, because you're gonna hurt no matter what. And that thing can be a person. It can be taking care of something. It can be working for the good of humanity. It can be working for the good of a small group of people. It can be working for the good of animals because you fucking love animals. It can be trying to save the rainforest. It can be whatever the fuck you want it to be. But if you choose it and you genuinely think that it's worthwhile, when you get to the point when it hurts you more than you can bear, you will discover that you can bear it. Because you chose it and because you know that it's worthwhile. And that's magic. That's the magic of the human ability to bear suffering when it's worth it and when you choose it. And I think it's fantastic. So, I think it's pretty clear to see where this plotline is going. Clearly, this character appears in all these OPs and EDs, and Kobayashi explains it to us straightforward that we manage somehow through the pain of connection, despite the fact that it sucks sometimes and it's hard and we're different and we have to work to make things work together. And so she spits some philosophy, falls asleep, and this girl dragon gives her boy parts. Cool. That's gonna be weird. That's gonna suck. I'm gonna take a moment. I think it's your account has been temporarily suspended due to something of terms of service, unable to log in. Shit, what did he do? What did he do that made him get suspended from his MMO for terms of service violations? Bruh, what did you do? Okay, and then there's the ED. It's so pretty. I love all these crazy effects and the sugar cubes and the little dance thing. It's all cute and it's all good. The show looks excellent. The show seems really fun. I'm down for every element here. It's really it was a blast through all the way through. The bits are funny. The animation's great. The general character designs and stuff are still a carryover from last season. Yeah, there's a way too like back pain inducing giant tittied lolly character, and that's not my jam, honestly. It's not my jam. But I can super overlook it because all the other elements of the show are great, and I don't mind that much. It's like fine. If it continues to be like a hard focus, it might start to irk me, but at the moment I don't really care. The character works. the character's hatred of dragons and humans being together, blah, 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 all works. And we're clearly going to explore some element of her backstory that's going to justify that worldview, which I think is valuable, and I think that's good. We'll see whether this gets more complicated as we move along, and I fully don't expect it to. I expect there to be like bits and bits every episode, and funny things every episode, and silly moments every episode with all our cast of characters that we've grown to know and love over the course of the first season. And also a continuation of this more plotline thing that is a plotline, and it works. It's a solid plotline. Do I think that we're gonna have tons and tons and gallons of discussion every episode? Nah. Do I think that it's still worth watching because it's a fucking awesome show that KyoAni is going balls to the wall with making really interesting and like instilling every moment and every bit of character animation and every bit of character with lots of fun and ideas and coolness, and has good songs and good music and good backing and like all these things? Yeah, it's super worth watching. Fuck yeah. Good shit. All right, that's going to be a wrap for episode 1 of Kobayashi San Chi no Maid Dragon S. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have things that you particularly enjoyed about this episode that you want to talk about and throw in the comments, I'd love to read them. If you have things that you super hate about the episode, throw them in the comments. I don't want to read them, but I will, because criticism is fair, and that's part of the game that we're playing, right? So it's totally chill to criticize things. But I'd love to hear your thoughts about this episode and certain elements of it, and I'd love to see you next week for more. Again, you can pick up next week's episode a little bit early on the Patreon. Check that out if it interests you, and I will see you next time for Maid Dragon episode 2, and maybe 3. See you there. Peace.